that you're an Israelite, more than likely from the tribe of Judah.
Right.
That's the American blacks right there.
Right.
You understand? So why do you call yourself black? Is that you feel like that's your nationality?
That's how I was raised.
That's how you was raised,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So black is not a nationality. If you went to test.
Yeah,
If you went to the airport and you said, I want 2 tickets to the land of black, where they gonna take you? You're gonna be left right there in that airport. You ain't going nowhere, right? Because Africa ain't the land of black. You know what I'm saying? So what is our proper nationality? This is the $1 million question. All right, we finna go into that. Isaiah 1 and verse 3. We finna show you, big bro, because according to the Bible, you're supposed to be ruling the world.
Right.
But the people on top who are ruling the world don't want you to know that. You understand? And this is where we're gonna take you. Do you believe the white man wrote this book? This is your history. Watch this. Check this out.
Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3.
What's your name, King? Elias? Oh man. Hey, you know that's a biblical name, right? That's a powerful prophet right there. All right, check this out. Read that.
The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
So God is comparing the northern and southern kingdoms of Israel to a dumb ox and a dumb ass. Why? Because we don't know, because an ox, right? You can drop him off anywhere and he'll be able to find his way home. An ass, he'll be able to go ahead and find his owner no matter where he's around, right? But guess what? Israel does not know who we are, where our homeland is, what our nationality is. Read that.
But Israel doth not know.
Israel, the real Israelites, the real Jews, read.
My people doth not consider.
We don't even consider that we are the chosen people of God, that you are the real Jew, that land in Israel right now that's being trodden down with all kind of white faces was once your household. Your family lived there.
Right.
Those are your houses.
Right.
You understand? So what happened to us? What happened to us that caused us to be over here on this side of the earth under captivity under those people who are now ruling our land? You have the slightest clue. Let's go ahead and get it. Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28. Verse. Give me Deuteronomy 1 and 1. Let's find out who this Bible's for. Hey, how you doing, family? What's your nationality, King?
African American.
African American. Why do you say African American?
Well, you know.
Same thing. This brother said black, right?
Yeah.
But it means the same thing. African American. These are made up terms. Africa was named by a man named Leo Scipios Africanus, and America was named after Amerigo Vespucci. How did 2 white men create y'all 2? So how are you African American? Stay around for a little bit.
I gotta go, but
Where you headed?
appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, for sure. Check this out. Deuteronomy 1 and 1. This is what happened to us. You got kids? Okay, check this out. Read that.
Deuteronomy 1 verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
No, the Bible's for everybody.
Unto all Israel.
Israel, your people, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, is who this Bible is written to.
Right.
You understand? So whenever somebody's talking about this Bible, it's a personal note to you. Not everybody. Read. Deuteronomy 28:15. Read that.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 15.
This is what happened to us.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So hey, listen to this. Moses, when he brought us up out of Egypt, we was the ones who built the pyramids, by the way. Did you know that? Okay. It was not the Egyptians, it was the Israelites who built the Valley of the Kings and a lot of those pyramids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand that when our God decided that he was going to destroy the Egyptians to save us, he brought us out through Moses. And the Red Sea parted, and the land was dry, all of that, and he brought us out on the other side. That's what Moses did. Read that.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes.
So this is the covenant that the Most High gave to the Israelites. He said that if we do the commandments, if we keep his laws, guess what? We're going to have rulership over the entire world. All those other nations are going to be there to serve us.
It's gonna happen.
That's the original plan for the black man. Read.
Which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
But God said, if we break those laws, thou shalt not kill. What are we known for? We're known for killing each other too, right? Thou shalt not steal. Who the ones getting followed around the grocery stores? Who the ones stealing so much that we actually shutting down Walmarts in our own neighborhoods, then wondering why we can't eat? Thou shalt not commit adultery. When you think about baby mamas and baby daddies, what nation of people do you think of? When you think of the term baby mamas and baby daddies, what nation of people do you think of? You think of Negroes, so-called African Americans, black folk. Hey King, when you think of baby mamas and baby daddies, what nation of people do you think of?
My African race.
You think of your own people. God said that God put that as a curse upon us because we broke his laws. Did you know that?
Yes, sir.
So guess what? We have to stop committing adultery. We have to stop making baby mamas and baby daddies. We got to stop stealing and stop killing each other. Because guess what? Read that again.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
God said, if you won't listen to my words, he made a covenant with us through blood.
Destroy you.
Guess what? Yes, sir. Read that.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
Thou shalt not kill is a commandment. Read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses.
All these what?
Curses.
All these what?
Curses.
Can I say something
Read
to y'all,
that.
Kings?
Shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
We were overtaken by curses in slavery, King.
You know what I call God? Everything.
God is everything.
Everything.
So God is sin.
He's everything.
Sin is a thing.
He made everything.
God is the Most High. He is the one who is the
Basically-
father of the Israelites.
Basically, basically it's like this. If you sin, you already know what's coming to you, right?
Right, that's true.
So basically,
I agree with that.
God put it there for you to do. When you go, it's just like mama, right? Don't
So,
go in there.
so check this out. Check this out. God is not everything, right? God is not Satan. You understand?
He made
They're two
everything.
different beings, right? But we have to understand that God is the one that we must follow through keeping his commandments. That's what the Bible is telling us.
No disrespect
That's
to you,
what we
King.
fell off on.
No disrespect
That's
to
what
you.
we're not
Maybe y'all
keeping
think-
today.
You know what I believe in? I believe also that Whitey said it's a Satan. Why would God take the most beautiful singer out of heaven, bruh? And that's his son.
So check this out. We're gonna get back to the point. All right, I'm gonna see you, Pop. I'm gonna see you, King. So guess what? God put curses upon us. Are curses a good thing or a bad thing, family? A curse. It's a terrible thing. It's an evil thing. Is slavery a good thing or a bad thing? Being raped, robbed, murdered, taken for everything that you have? You understand? This is what happened to us because we broke God's commandments. Now, I asked you a question earlier, right? I asked you, why is it that we're in this land rather than our homeland, our original homeland? How did we get to this land? Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. How did we get to this land? You don't know how we got to this? Slavery, okay. So what was the means of transportation that got us here? Ships, right? So if I can show you that 3,000 years ago, your forefather Moses prophesied that that was going to happen to us, would you believe in the Bible?
Yep.
If I showed you that what you just said is in here. Let me show you. Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. Listen up. What's your name again, family? Elias. I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names, but that's a beautiful name. Read that.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 68.
This is what would happen to you, Elias. Read.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. What were the Jews in Egypt? What was the position of the Jews in Egypt? Were the Jews ruling Egypt, or were the Egyptians ruling Egypt? So what was the position of the Egyptian of the Jews in Egypt? Building pyramids. We were slaves. Slaves. Read that. You got what I want? Read that.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt
Out of the land of Egypt. What does Egypt mean in this scripture? Read.
Out of the house of bondage.
What does that mean? So what does Egypt mean? The house of bondage. What does that mean? When it means that the Bible is using Egypt as a similitude to slavery. It's the same thing. So read that. Read that.
From the top.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 68.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So God said he would bring the Israelites into slavery again. How long were we slaves in Egypt? We were slaves for over 400 years in Egypt. You want this on? We were slaves for over 400 years in Egypt. How long were we slaves here? Over 400 years, just like Egypt, right? So then you're already seeing a connection, right? Read that again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Read.
With ships.
How will we get there?
With ships.
How did you say that we got here to this land? Read that again.
With ships.
So God said it wasn't the white man who had the power to overtake us and bring us into slavery. God said that he sent them to do that to us. Why? Because he cursed us for breaking his laws. The laws is the key to your freedom or your slavery. That's what God is saying. It's on you. It's your choice. Read that.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
So Moses said the way I say it's going to happen is exactly how it's going to happen. This was 3,000 years before us going into transatlantic and sub-Saharan slave trade. So how could he know this if it wasn't God that gave him the information and showed him where we was going to be? Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
God, so he said that we would not see Egypt as a nation of people, and we would not see our homeland again as a nation of people. Neither one of these places will we exist or live in as a nation of people again. You understand? Read that.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen.
So when we got here, we will be sold unto our enemies. We'll be sold unto our enemies. Who are our enemies that we were sold unto? 545 sold to Master Charles in North Carolina. Who are our enemies that God is saying? White folks. White folks is the one that sold us into slavery. And God called them what?
Your enemies.
God called these people our enemies. That's what God called them. You understand? So guess what? If these people are our enemies, why are we the ones trying to integrate and come together with them? And wonder why we always end up destroyed and worse off every 10 years. Read.
For bondmen and bondwomen.
So God said that they would make us slave men and slave women unto them. Did this happen? But this was 3,000 years ago that this was said, bro. This was 3,000 years ago. So how is it telling us what would happen to us in modern time? What's your last name, by the way? Carswell. So you belonged to the Carswell plantation. Your name, so basically your name today is affected by what was told to you that was going to happen 3,000 years before it happened. This is why we believe in the Bible, bro. Because when you read it in context, it is our history through and through. Read that.
And no man shall buy you.
And no man shall redeem you. Buy is an old Quaker word that means redeem. Because guess what? Back in the day, if you ended up slaves to another group of people, I as your brother would be able to go over there and pay for your slavery, pay for your debt, and bring you back home. But how could I do that if I'm a slave with you? If they got me just like they got you? If none of us are free? You understand? So it's impossible for me to redeem you out of that captivity because, why? We all went in it together. But guess what? We had leaders. We had Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X. We had Martin Luther King. We had some of the best leaders to live. They still couldn't redeem us out of the captivity. Why? Because God put us there. Read that part again.
And no man shall buy you.
And no man shall redeem you from that captivity that we still in today. No matter what leader it was. Because guess what? Christ is the one that's going to redeem us.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support